Okay, I'm going to call to order the City of Menasha Board of Public Works. Clerk Aliassi, could you please take roll call?
Alderman Taylor. Here. Alderman Sevenick.
Here.
Alderman Langdon.
Here.
Alderman Kruger.
Here.
Alderman Tom Grady.
Here.
Alderman Ted Grady.
Here.
Alderman Nichols. Here. Alderman Rapella is absent.
First thing up on the agenda is public comments to any matter listed on the agenda. Is there anybody that would like to speak? Seeing none, we'll move on to item number D, or letter D, minutes to approve. We could take them both up at the same time for a January 21st special meeting and a regular one. Alderman Langdon.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, that's what I was going to ask. So I am going to make the motion to approve the minutes from number 1, January 21st, 2019, and that was a special Board of Public Works meeting. And then also at the same time, number 2, approve January 21st, 2019 regular Board of Public Works.
Second.
We have a motion and a second by Alderman Tom Grady. Is there any discussion? See none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Moving on to discussion and action items. First up is the recommendation to award MMC contract number M0002-9-18-00521. Director Adamski.
Scott from Menasha Utilities is here for that one.
Okay.
No, and
Scott from Menasha Utilities. Does anybody have any questions on?
Alderman Sevenick.
Thank you, Chair. I see we have De Pere listed on here. Now, is this just the water portion of it? So
Correct.
that'll, see, and then I guess I have a question for Josh. So if we're digging up and we're taking care of the water thing, are we gonna be digging up again to do the storm sewer?
Unfortunately, generally, utilities and the city do not have the same contract. We do not have engineering ready for their contract, even if we wanted to. We are planning on going out for a CCTV contract next month sometime for the 2020 projects, and also including all those runs that I had shown you earlier that need to be CCTV'd for De Pere Street. So usually that takes about a month for us to get those back, a couple of weeks to fully review them, a couple of weeks for engineering. By the time that we're talking, we'd be done with engineering of that storm sewer. They could easily be done with that water main.
Well, that's the reason I'm asking the question is, would it not be wise for the Menasha Utilities to hold off on the water part of De Pere Street until next year when they go in all at the same time, or does it not work that way?
That's a decision that Menasha Utilities makes. We do try and usually pave the same year that we do water main. We had planned on doing that again this year. Unfortunately, due to the storm sewer issues, we have informed Menasha Utilities that we were proposing to delay the De Pere Street project. They can do whatever they want with that water main. We have no control over that.
Okay, and then I guess somewhat related with all of it is that when we do look at these water mains, are we addressing all the neighbors about their laterals with the lead situation? And are there funds available to help them anymore, or did that expire at the end of this year?
Go ahead.
It
Finish.
did?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
expired, and
And
that's
so where are we with that right now? I mean, we did areas here, they got it done for free. Now you come into some of the other districts,
Right.
this De Pere being mine,
right.
and now they got to pay for it.
Well, what we did is, I'll go back to why we kept De Pere Street in it, because it's a high concentration of lead, and we're trying to get rid of the lead. And with the DNR, we have to do up to 10%, I believe is 15 or 10% of lead services per year. So this road has quite a few lead services in it, so we're moving forward with that.
Okay.
The other question you have is the shared $1,000 from the city, $1,000 from the utility. and that's still waiting on approval from the PSC. There's some language changes that they wanted to do, I believe, and I think the mayor is up on that also. So
What kind of time frame are you looking at? I mean, if it comes in after you do all this, I would have preferred that we waited the year if they were able to get the funding. And then do you know if the Menasha Utilities is seeking any additional grants from the federal government for this? Or do we have to have another Flint, Michigan situation for them to all over panic and then throw dollars at it?
Yeah, there's no grant money available. There's nothing in the works. Everybody, the money's depleted at this point. So what a lot of communities are doing is they're coming up with different ways to pay for it.
Okay, thank you.
Steve, can I comment on?
Yes, Mayor.
So kind of to piggyback on what Scott was saying, the bids, I believe, came in at $2,500 per lead lateral this year.
24.
So, and our program is $1,000 from the city, $1,000 from the utility, and the remainder from the customer. So they'll be getting a pretty similar deal to what others did. The sticking point with the PSC is we did not address the laterals that are half replaced. So the utility had replaced their segment to the curb stop in some areas of the city, and then the customers was left. And they wanted us to address that as well. Melanie's working with that to more or less reassure them that we have plenty of full laterals to replace, and we'll have some sort of a plan in place to get those other ones as time goes on, but it isn't an issue for this year at this point. So we're hopeful that that will come through before construction season so that we can move forward on that. As far as additional grants, I've been working with Amanda Stuck, and she is very concerned about the lead programs. And we are asking Governor Evers to put additional funding within the state budget to address lead issues within our communities. We're not sure if that will move forward or not, but we've been working on that. And Director McKinney has been working on 2 potential grants. I think one is through the Blue Cross Blue Shield reorganization that could potentially offer some assistance for lead laterals as well. The other one would offer assistance for paint and those types of lead hazards, but not laterals. So we do have some things in the works. I'm not sure if any of them will be fruitful at this point, but we're always on the search and the prowl for this type of funding.
Alderman Sevenick.
Thank you, Chair. What type of communication then is sent out to the people on all these various streets? Are they informed that they have the option of this lead program?
Everything will be sent out. We're just waiting for the final approval on this letter, then we'll
Okay.
move forward and let them know what streets are being done. The program that we talked about, that's being approved by the PSC, and that, all that'll be sent out to them by way of mailing.
You might have to do a separate letter for De Pere. Seriously, you might have to let them know that, yes, we're coming in, we're taking care of the water, and we're addressing your laterals with you, and that project will come in the following year, something like that.
Okay, can we have a motion? Alderman Langdon.
Thank you, Chair. I'll make the motion to forward to council the recommendation to award MCM contract number M0002-9-18-00521. That's for the 2019 water main reconstruction for De Pere Street, Frederick Street, 2nd Street, Walnut and Willow Streets, Lisbon Avenue, Lake Road, and Donald Hippis and Sons, Inc. for $868,787.50 to do the work for Menasha Utilities.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second by Alderman Nichols. Is there any more discussion? Alderman Langdon? Mayor?
Not to kind of steal your thunder, Scott, I don't need you to come up for what I'm going to say. We did have some very robust water sales last year. So this did allow us to fund the whole project through water sales, not through borrowing, which is a really good thing for the water utility. We hope to see those kinds of sales again next year as well, but there's no guarantee.
Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, can we take roll call?
Motion carried on roll call 7-0.
Moving on to action item number 2 is resolution R-2-19 for the public improvements and levying special assessments against benefited property at Province Tail. Director Radomski.
This is the final resolution authorizing the final assessments be sent to the properties near Province Terrace. Obviously, this will be for the public hearing next week, or next meeting for that project. They'll be given a estimate as far as what we believe the cost will be as shown in the packet. And then once construction is complete, they're actually billed for what the project actually costs versus what the estimate was.
All right, thank you. Can I have a motion? Alderman Langdon.
Thank you, Chair. This was, actually, I just wanted to make it known that this was introduced by Alderman Rapella. And Alderman Rapella is not here tonight to make this motion, so I am going to make the motion for him. It is R-2-19, the final resolution authorizing public improvements and levying special assessments against benefit property at Province Terrace. And again, that was introduced by Alderman Rapella.
We have a motion. Is there a second? We have a second by Alderman Sevenick. Any further discussion? Seeing none, can we take roll call?
Motion carried on roll call 7-0.
And before we adjourn, I just want to mention that I have had a lot of compliments for the Public Works Department on the way they handle the snowstorms and the bitter cold and everything over the last storm. So if you can please give the guys a big thumbs up for us, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Will do, thank you.
Not a problem. With that, we have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
And we have a second by Alderman Tom Grady. All in favor? Opposed? We are adjourned.